Hello, this is Arash Vossoughi. Today, I want to talk to you about a few concepts that will really help you bring your extraordinary goal into reality. Now, first thing we have to do is we have to know exactly what we want. I say this on almost every video I do, but you have to know what you want and not a million wants. We want to have one want that you want more than anything else. And that's where we put our focus. That's where we put our attention. You know, Earl Nightingale said it the best. He said, we become what we think about most of the time. And we want to understand, what are you thinking about? I want you from this moment on to change your concept of yourself. And that's an ever-changing process because we want to continue getting better and better. But I want you to change that concept that I wonder if it's going to happen to I know that it's going to happen, and you feel it. See, we want to bring, like Neville says, we want to bring the future into the present and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, that's a lot in one sentence. When we're bringing the future in the present, what we're saying here, what Neville was saying, is we're putting all our attention only on what we want. And we feel it. We have to understand feeling. Feeling is a language of your subconscious. Every feeling you have creates a subconscious impression. Now, let me give you an example. If I say, I am healthy or I will be healthy, when I say I am, that is in the present. You could feel the difference. When I say I will be, that's stating what I am not. And what you're operating with is separation. We have to become one with what we want. Now, there's 4 steps in doing this, and then I'm going to bring in how important your imagination is. And I'm going to give you some suggestions because your subconscious mind loves suggestions. First off, there's 4 key points that you want to remember. Our thoughts are things, and our thoughts are the absolute currency of what we experience in our life. Number 2 is we want to master our feelings. We only feel what we want. Our feelings are a sensory experience in our body. What we feel, we have conscious contact with. And you could feel anything you want, but until you have that feeling, you're not going to bring it into your reality. Number 3, your language. Your self-talk is so important. Today's self-talk equals tomorrow's facts. We want to understand winning is a language. So we want to speak in accordance and in harmony and match the mental equivalence with what we really want, and we speak like that person. Now I'm going to tell you right now, if you're speaking based on your present circumstances, and you may be doing a lot of studying, a lot of meditation, a lot of visualization, a lot of action steps, but if you're separate from it, that I hope it comes, it's going to come in the future. No, it's here right now. So we've got to lock into our language. And number 4 is action. Without acting as that person every day, and I mean taking the action steps, working on 3 to 6 goal achieving activities, observing ourselves and asking ourselves at the end of the day, did I act like the person I want to become? Did I do the activities? Action is going to take you to where you want to go. Now, let's look at the 3 parts of our mind. We have our conscious mind. Our conscious mind creates 2 to 4% of our results. And you may think, oh, that's all it does. It is the gateway to get into the subconscious. The conscious mind is literally the gatekeeper. So we want to understand how that conscious mind works. Your conscious mind, you could choose any thought you want. So what are you choosing? Are you choosing thoughts that are in harmony with the person you want to be? If you're not, you're going the other way. And then we look at what else does the subconscious or conscious mind do? Your conscious mind originates any idea. So you want to build a big idea of yourself first. This is why our self-concept is so important to constantly upgrade. And as you're upgrading that concept, you're going to higher and higher levels of understanding, and you're going to track what's in harmony up here. Now, then we say it can only accept or reject. See, your subconscious mind can only accept. So we've got to get really good at only accepting what we want and rejecting what we don't want. See, if I'm not accepting or rejecting, I'm accepting it, and my subconscious is taking me there. That is the impression I'm going to feel. That's why you want to understand suggestions are so powerful, and that's how we're marketed to every day. But suggestions are what your subconscious mind really holds on. It will hold it on and bring it into your reality. Now, your subconscious mind creates 96 to 98% of all your results. So when I hear that, if I were you, I'd get really locked in on my discipline that am I letting the outside, my present circumstances, control me, or am I in control? I hope that you use this as the gateway to really mastering yourself. Because right now, if you look at your results, everything in your results is what you've thought about. And our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. That's why we've got to feel it. What we're feeling, we're making conscious contact with. That's how we know, is by how we feel. And we feel it in our body. That's the third part, where you're going to express it from your subconscious conditioning into your results. Now, two people could say, you could have two different ideas throughout the day. The most dominating idea that is in your subconscious mind is going to be expressed in your results. So this is why I always say, look at our results. It is telling us a huge story. It is literally the compass of our life. It is telling us what's going on inside, what our dominating thinking pattern is. Now, well, how do we change it? Well, we have higher faculties. The one I really want to focus on is our imagination. We have our will, our imagination, our reasoning, our memory, our intuition. You know, we have these 6 higher faculties that are these are literally your superpowers. But the one I want to focus on is imagination. Like Einstein, I think, says it the best. He says, knowledge isn't power, knowledge is limited. Imagination is power. Imagination can take you anywhere. See, and if we look, every thought, I told you it's the currency. Step 1, our thoughts that we accept automatically create the image. That's where the imagination's activated. And you're in control. You control what you think about. Nobody else does. You control what you imagine. Nobody else does. And what we're doing when we imagine, we're holding the image with our will. And our will is one of our higher faculties. And you want to hold it so darn close to you. You want to create a very close relationship to what you want. But you want to accept the idea in your self-identity that you can absolutely achieve your dream. But our imagination is picking up what we are accepting. And it is literally dumping it into our subconscious mind. You know, if anybody has followed my Millionaire Morning Routine, and if you haven't, go to vosscoachingco.com. It's a free download. One of the activities in the morning routine is I am statements. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am prosperous. See, what you want to do is every time you do the I am statements, you want to do them relentlessly and fiercely. Because what you're doing with the I am is you're depositing it in your imagination. Your imagination is impressing it into your subconscious mind. That's why the repetition of doing it is how the subconscious is going to express it. When you make those I am statements and you do it with a certain energy, you're bringing it into your reality. We really want to practice imagination. This morning I was working with a corporate client and I was working with their team, and I told them, I said, I want you to look at this. Winning is a price you have to pay. It's not difficult to do it, and it's practice and discipline. You want to practice 10,000 times what I'm talking about. See, a lot of people may say, well, I've heard this before, the conscious mind, the subconscious. It's not if you've heard it, it's how are you applying it. Remember, we want to bring the future into the present and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Until we assume the feeling, we're separate from it. When we assume the feeling, we're living it. And this is where mental rehearsing is so critical. Where I want you to think about what you really want right now. Now, I want you to think, that person, how would that person think? How would their language be? Who are they surrounding themselves with? Are they constantly investing in mentorship to stretch them? Are they in a mastermind group? What type of actions are they taking? I'll tell you the biggest key that you want to do is go look at those behaviors and look at yours. And see yourself behaving like the person you want to be. But that's not it. That's where people stop. They go, no, I've been imagining it. No. The second step is from that imagination. Remember, step 4 is action. Throughout your day, you want to think, feel, and act and take the action steps of that person. It's so simple and it's so misunderstood. See, your subconscious mind, it takes you wherever your imagination is put in there. And you get to control that. That's why you want to understand that. Now, I'll give you another concept that is really powerful, is when you feel good, you are actually tapping into the highest version of you. And this is where you've got to understand you. How do I operate? And this is why you've got to really understand the conscious and the subconscious mind. And you want to practice how they work. You know, they're working all day long no matter what. Your subconscious works while you're sleeping. But do you understand how it's working? Well, you may not. I know I didn't for many years. My life changed as soon as I took control over my life. I changed my thinking. I changed how I feel. I changed my language, and I definitely changed the type of action steps I took. Now, if you start looking at this and look at it from who am I? I am limitless. See, it's not you have a soul, you are a soul. And you, like James Allen, I think says it the best, your soul is always infinite, and your soul hates to be boxed in. We have a deathless soul. Every time we're boxed in, our soul is restricted. That's why you get to a point you're like, I know there's more. I know I'm talking to you right now, there's more for you. You know there's more for you. Everything that's happened in your life has prepared you for something greater. Let your soul express itself. It's infinite. It does not like being boxed in. So you could ask yourself, are you boxed in right now? Well, if you are, I promise you're committed to the suffering. You're committed to the old story. You're committed to the present circumstances. You're committed to being a victim. See, we want to let go of that. There's two types of people. There's victims and there's leaders. Victims make excuses. Leaders focus on how they solve problems. Victims are focused on task-oriented things, and leaders are focused on what is my highest productive activity? What is my highest income-producing activity? What is the best way I could build a bigger image of myself? Now, you know whichever one you are. Don't blame the outside. Don't blame the economy. You have pure perfection inside of you. And what you do over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months is going to dictate your own economy. Freedom is on the other side of your fear. Get in complete control over the 4 steps I gave you. Number 1, thoughts are your currency. I'm telling you, think what you want all day long. Number 2, feel it. If you do not feel, and feeling is the sensory impression, every feeling we have is a sensory impression in our subconscious mind. Talk like the person you want to talk to and take action like that person. Now, I encourage you to listen to this over and over again. Really stop and ask yourself, am I accepting only ideas that I want? Am I originating ideas? Am I choosing which ideas that I'm accepting, or am I totally letting my mind decide for me based on lack of discipline? I want you to review this over and over again. Thank you so much.